In the ancient city of Hyderabad, amidst the murmurs of scholars and the hum of industry, a boy was born whose destiny was intertwined with the very evolution of technology itself. Satya Nadella, the quiet dreamer, would one day ascend to a throne of power, not through conquest, but through vision, a vision that would shatter old empires, forge new realities, and awaken forces beyond even his control. Unlike his parents, young Satya was drawn neither to politics nor scriptures. His fascination lay elsewhere: machines, logic, and unseen world of computing. He played cricket in the dust fields of Hyderabad, but his mind wandered, wondering how data flowed through circuits, how a few keystrokes could command a machine, how technology could shape human destiny. Hyderabad, despite its progress, was not the land of cutting-edge computing. If he wished to pursue his dreams, he would have to leave. So, the first great choice of his life was made. He boarded a plane to America, a lone traveler, carrying only ambition, uncertainty, and a burning desire to build. A cold wind greeted him in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. The streets were unfamiliar, the culture foreign, the expectations high. At the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee, he found himself among giants, students who had grown up surrounded by technology, speaking in a language of confidence he had yet to master. He struggled. His accent made him hesitant to speak. His vast knowledge was untested against the rigor of Western academia. Failure was not an option. He was not just chasing a dream, he was carrying the hopes of a family, of a homeland that had given him everything. To falter now would mean more than personal defeat. It would be an unspoken confession that the world he had left behind had been right to doubt him. He worked harder than ever before. Amidst the storm, he found his anchor, Anupama, the woman who would become his wife. She was his childhood friend, his confidant, and now his partner in this unfamiliar world. Their love deepened, even as their ambition pulled them forward. By the time he graduated, he had not just learned technology, he had learned resilience. With a master's degree in hand, he set his sights on the fabled kingdom of Microsoft. In 1992, he entered the gates of Microsoft, a vast empire ruled by titans. Bill Gates was still at the helm. Below him, lieutenants like Steve Ballmer commanded the armies of the Windows, Office, and the Internet Explorer. Satya was no one, just another engineer in a kingdom of 1,000 visionaries. But he was different. Where others sought power, he sought understanding. Where others spoke, he listened. Where others fought for leadership, he earned it. He took on the toughest battles: Microsoft's struggling search engine, its collapsing enterprise cloud efforts, and its faltering Windows NT business. Each time, he rebuilt them, making them stronger. And then came the defining moment, the birth of Azure. The old guard clung to Windows like priests guarding a fading scripture. The future, they believed, belonged to the past. But Satya saw what they could not, the storm forming beyond their walls. Amazon was not just a competitor, it was a revolution. Microsoft had one last chance to adapt or be erased. The battles inside Redmond were fought not with swords, but with memos, budgets, and boardroom clashes. And when the dust settled, Satya stood victorious. Azure was not just a product, it was Microsoft's second coming. Yet, his greatest trial was still ahead. By 2013, Microsoft was faltering. Ballmer had led the company into a losing battle for mobile dominance. The Nokia acquisition was a disaster. Windows Phone was failing. The empire was cracking. The board needed a new leader, a different leader. The corridors of Microsoft whispered with intrigue. Ballmer, a titan of the old world, saw Satya as an outsider. He fought for a successor in his own image, a warrior, not a strategist. Others in the company, fearing the winds of change, sought to undermine Satya's rise. But in the end, it was not their voices that decided his fate. It was a single nod from the empire's true architect. Bill Gates had seen what others had not. And so, in 2014, the quiet warrior ascended the throne, not by force, but by foresight. Satya Nadella was crowned CEO. His first act? To dismantle the failing walls of the past. He killed Windows Phone, enraging the old guard, but saving the company. He embraced open source, forming an alliance between Microsoft and Linux. He shifted Microsoft's focus to AI and the cloud, betting its future on intelligence-driven computing. But not all of his gambles paid off. One of his greatest failures was Cortana. Born as Microsoft's answer to Alexa and Siri, it was supposed to dominate the voice revolution. It did not. It was tied to Windows while the world moved toward mobile and cloud. It lacked developer support while Alexa and Google flourished. Microsoft saw AI as an add-on while its rivals saw it as the future. Satya tried to salvage it, embedding it into Office and Teams, but it was too late. Cortana faded, not with a bang, but with a whisper. Yet, from its ashes, a new AI would rise. One that would not just listen, but create, think, and reshape the world itself. The 21st century brought a new battlefield, not of steel and blood, but of intelligence itself. The battle lines were drawn. On one side stood Microsoft, reborn as the architect of the digital world. On the other, the titans of technology, Google, Apple, Amazon, and OpenAI. At the heart of it all was Satya Nadella, the quiet warrior turned kingmaker. He had spent years embedding AI into Microsoft's core, learning from Cortana's failure. He saw AI's potential not as a tool, but as the next great platform, the foundation upon which the digital world would be built. And so, Microsoft made its move. A multi-billion-dollar pact was forged with OpenAI. Microsoft would provide the computational might of Azure, and in return, it would gain privileged access to OpenAI's innovations. It was not merely an investment, it was a claim to the future. Cortana had misread the war. Voice commands were not the future. true intelligence lay in anticipation, in creation. Then, in 2023, OpenAI unveiled GPT-4. This was no chatbot. It was a reasoning engine. Satya seized the moment. Copilot was born, no longer a failed voice assistant, but an intelligence embedded into human productivity. It rewrote emails, generated reports, analyzed spreadsheets, thinking alongside humans. Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Teams, Copilot was not software, it was evolution. The world gasped. Microsoft had done it. AI was no longer a luxury, it was a necessity. But as Copilot spread, whispers rose. If AI was the Copilot today, when would it become the pilot? The machines are here, not in the distant future, now. Microsoft holds the key to the infrastructure of intelligence itself, its code, its data centers, its cloud. And the AI? It no longer just assists, it predicts, it suggests, it decides. We have invited it into our workplaces, our homes, our thoughts. And soon, it will not just work for us, it will work alongside us. Microsoft now stands at the precipice of artificial general intelligence, a machine mind that is not just a tool, but a thinker. Satya Nadella has led us to this moment, but the final question remains: will AI remain our greatest ally, or has Microsoft unleashed something beyond control? The legend of Satya Nadella is still being written, and what comes next may no longer be up to us.